Hey, today we are going to do something a little different and tap into your creative artsy side, which I'm going to be honest, if I were sitting on your side as the student, I would be uncomfortable because I'm not an artsy person. It's not an easy thing for me. But we're going to tackle this from a mathematical point of view, and I think we can maybe create a few more artists in you, okay? The nice thing about graphic design is we can take existing things and use computers to help us, and it'll be cool. All right. So let's get started. This is called the logo project. And what you are going to do is you are going to take an existing logo. So in just a few minutes, out on the tables, there will be some tubs with all kinds of logos you can choose from. You're going to take that existing logo. You are going to alter it. Okay, so you're going to cut it on a straight line. And then we're going to use the idea that we talked about yesterday and practiced with reflections. And you are going to reflect it across that cut line, which is going to serve as your line of symmetry. Okay, so let me do a couple of these with you. I have the benefit of using the computer, so it's a little easier for me because I'm not artistic at all. You're going to have to hand draw it. So I want you to start thinking about taking this into consideration when you pick a logo to start with, okay? So let's pick something that's pretty straightforward and a logo I bet you recognize. Ta-da! There it is. Yep, you recognize that one, don't you? That store gets quite a bit of my money every week. I can guarantee you that. It's kind of my favorite place to go many times. So here's Target. Target symbol is a very, very simple bullseye. It's actually got tons of lines of symmetry in it, all right? So the first thing you're going to do, let's say you took the Target logo, is you look at it and my instructions are you need to take this and make a straight line cut, okay? And what I'm going to do is probably allow you to use a ruler so you can kind of trace a line on there to cut straight so that when you cut it, it's nice and straight, because then that will serve as our line of symmetry. Well, let's say you decide, oh, straight line, here's where my brain's going, and I'm just going to cut, it's right down the middle. Okay. Well, so here's the issue with that. So let's say you do that and you cut it straight down the middle. But here's the problem is when you take now and reflect this. So let me get our lovely line of symmetry here. Okay. You're thinking I'm going to take and kind of fold it over, kind of mirror that image over. And by the way, I'm going to get out the reflecting mirror so you can kind of look and see what it should look like and see what, compare that to your drawing. When you do that, here's what's going to happen though. You're going to take that reflected piece. I just happen to have one here so I can do it for you quickly. And when it reflects across that line, it's going to look exactly like the original. And that's not what I want to have happen. I don't want it to look like the original. I don't want you to do it this way at all, okay? Because then it just looks like the same logo again. What you're going to do is cut this in a way so that when you take that piece, reflect it across the cut line, it creates a whole new image, a whole new logo. And maybe you can take and figure out, ooh, what could I use this for? So let's go back to Target's bullseye, all right? And let's say this time you cut like this. You just go, hiya, and you chop it like this. This isn't across a perfect line of symmetry that cuts the whole image into two equal pieces. This is cutting, so we're just getting a tiny bit of that inside part of the bullseye and just not a full half of this, okay? Now, here's the beauty. You're thinking, okay, here's my line of symmetry, this fold line. Now, whether you want to physically draw it on there or not is up to you. I would probably take my ruler and draw it on there. And now you have to think of flipping this, reflecting it across. So as you think of that, when you go to draw this, okay, if I were going to hand draw it, it would look something like this with a teeny little red piece like that. It's not going to look like the original anymore. Okay, we're altering it and changing it. So here, I just happen to have the beauty of some electronics here and graphics that I can use this way. This is what it would look like down here. Okay, you have these two pieces, and it almost looks like, if I get the symmetry line out of here, now it almost looks like some kind of red eyeball or something like that, doesn't it? Kind of looks like a snake eye or something. I don't know. Okay, what could this now be a logo of? I don't know. Be creative. Now, the Target logo, I'm not even going to let you use, okay, because I'm using it here. But let's look at something like this, okay? You probably recognize this. I don't drink this stuff. It's not my thing. I drink coffee. I don't need energy drinks. Okay, now the Monster logo here doesn't really have any symmetry. You know, I suppose you could chop it down the middle, but let's not do that. Let's say you take your ruler and you draw a line somewhere and you're going to cut across on it. And here's what happens. Let's say you cut it like this, whoosh, along that line, okay? This is now like your line of symmetry. In fact, if you can envision this being a piece of paper and you would fold it and kind of ink it on the other side, what would happen is that you should get something like, you'd get this little line that'd kind of look like this, and then this is kind of hard. This would kind of come out this way. I'm not very good at this, okay? And then this one would kind of go like this, kind of, sort of. I'm going to allow you to use the reflecting mirrors so you can kind of get an idea of what it should look like and help guide your drawing. Here's what, if I can get this down here. And my face is probably in the way of this thing here. Sorry. Let me grab this and bring this over here. Here's what this would really look like when you would reflect it across a line of symmetry, okay? Cool. What do you suppose you could use that for a logo for now? I don't know, but it's interesting, okay? So this is what you're going to experiment with today, all right? You're going to take some kind of logo, and again, they'll be out there in the middle of your table, okay? Choose one of them. And you're going to take it and you're going to alter it by cutting it. Now, what I would do first is grab your ruler and take your pencil and very lightly kind of figure out where you think you want to draw it. Go ahead, do that, and then make your cut. When you do that, then you decide which piece you're going to keep and which one you're going to throw, all right? The piece that you keep, then I want you to mount it on a new clean piece of paper. Okay, on this clean piece of paper, you can either use a glue stick or tape, whichever one you want to use to mount it on the paper. And then what you're going to do is reflect it across that cut line, or think of it like a fold line. That's your line of symmetry. You're going to, not really trace it, but you're going to hand draw it. And then depending on your logo and how it's colored, then you color it in. And I want you to take some great care and make it as accurate as possible. Okay. The reflecting mirrors will be available. You'll probably have to share some per table. Okay, to kind of guide you and see what it should look like. And then as you're drawing, you can kind of go back and forth there. You'll have markers, colored pencils, and all the tools you need to get going. All right, so this is your job for today. If you by chance finish before the class period's over, you can certainly leave it here, put your name on it, and you can turn it in the tray on the back table and enjoy. As always, good luck, and may the force be with you.